All right, so now I want to go over some helpful hints that might make some things easier for you. The first one being is making sure that you lock all of your layers when you are finished editing or painting on them. That way you don't have to worry about making the mistake of, say, editing maybe your bun on the wrong layer, and then you go to erase that bun and maybe it's in a different layer. So you want to make sure that you're always locking your layers once you are finished editing them. Another thing is you won't be able to draw or paint on a layer unless your layer is unlocked. So notice I have this layer is locked sign come up. So you always want to make sure that you have the layer selected that you want to work on. So notice that I've missed my little patch here in my lettuce. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to my lettuce layer. I'm going to select that and then unlock. Now I know that I'm only going to be editing my lettuce layer, and that way I can make that change. Now another big one here is you don't want to always be working with your canvas zoomed out. So what we're going to do is we're going to hold Control+ and zoom in. You can also use your magnifying glass here to zoom in on a very specific area. So I'm going to keep zooming in here so I can get it a little bit closer. Now, the closer you are, the more detailed you can get. So see how I can actually go in and edit each individual pixel when I'm zoomed in this far? So now what I can do, now that I'm zoomed in, is I can make sure that I can get all this patch filled in. Again, let me remind you that we can use our eyedropper tool by either clicking our eyedropper over here on the left. You can also press I on your keyboard as the shortcut. And that way we can select the color. So I'm just going to click in this green. And that way, notice how I have my green color selected here. I'm going to go back to my brush tool. You can also press B on your keyboard. And then you want to make sure that you have your brush size all the way down to 1. That way I can really go in with a fine brush and really fill this entire space in. Now notice what would happen if I had a larger brush. See how I wouldn't be able to actually get an accurate painting in. So you want to make sure you have a nice fine brush size so you're able to get all the detail that you want in your drawing. Also, let's say we accidentally mess up. Don't forget you can always hit Control-Z so you can always go back and fix that mistake. Also, let's say you wanted to try and redo your lettuce layer altogether. Don't forget you can always drag that down to the garbage and start a new layer altogether.